Happy Gemini Supermoon, everybody. Brother Santos is now here. Hey, brother.
Hey, how you going?
I'm great, man. I'm great. We got a powerful supermoon today, hanging out just above your MC.
It's on my MC.
Yeah, exactly. MC regardless. So I just made a video about this, just posted about this myself, that all full moons are always going to have a sun and moon opposition because the moon is opposite the sun on full moons. But in addition to that, we're having some tension today, a little bit of tension from the moon squaring the south node over in Virgo, as well as the north node over in Pisces. But as I've always said, that pressure makes diamonds. Gold is refined through the fire. So it's not that this tension is bad. It is actually showing you what you need so that you can be of value to the world, to the marketplace. And the ruler of this full moon is from Gemini, and the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. Mercury is over in Scorpio. So, Scorpio season isn't quite done yet completely. We still got some transformation that is needed, some transmutation that is very necessary. And, it's really not only the last full moon of 2025, but also very symbolic for one of the last full moons of the year of the snake. Santos, you've said that the year of the snake is syncretic with Scorpio in tropical astrology because the snake is the scorpion. And so tonight we really should be focusing on some skin shedding as well, because the snake must shed its skin. Any thoughts you want to share about this chart here? We got squares from, the nodes and the sun and the moon. And then we got a grand water sign trine.
Yep.
Neptune and Saturn, trining Jupiter and Mercury.
Yep. Well, that's good. That's very, very good. That's nice. So once Mars jumps into Capricorn, that's going to be one to watch out. Venus has already moved into Sagittarius. So she doesn't do too well in Sag like Mercury, but they're the ones to watch. Right now, they're opposing the moon, so in Gemini on my MC. So yeah, that's going on. Like, you can feel it, but what people are mostly feeling, I'm finding a lot of people that are talking to me that they feel like there's no purpose. They feel like there's a void. And I said, well, Mercury's still in the shadow, the 2-week shadow of the retrograde. So he hasn't gone direct yet. And that is that is the moment when most people get depressed, lonely, suicidal, empty feeling. The mind doesn't work. You get a head jam. And so that will be on the 10th that Mercury goes direct. So that explains that. And this full moon has just played on that, because Mercury is still in that shadow.
Yeah, and I feel like Venus functions, honestly, in my opinion, I believe Venus functions much, much, much better in Sagittarius than she does Scorpio, though. That was a very, very tense time. Whole lot of opportunities to be involved in any type of fights, any type of arguments, any type of things that, Venus is the planet of love, and Scorpio is ruling the regenerative organs, right? Ruling the sexual organs. And so the temptation of mixing love and sex, there was a lot there, especially with any type of tension of arguments or people not being on the same page relationally. Yeah, so in my opinion, Scorpio functions much better, or Mercury functions much better in Scorpio than Venus does. And then Mercury's going to be catching up to Venus here shortly over in Sag, where it is in a fall, and it doesn't perform its best. But right now, it's the ruler of this moon. It's the ruler of this full moon, the ruler of Gemini. And, we have all these karmic squares. I think that a lot of that lack of purpose that people are feeling is having to do with the Saturn and Neptune conjunction in Pisces still. And Saturn is finally direct. So it's great that Saturn is finally direct. And guys, I just got to say this really quick. The astrology always lines up. It always lines up. I had a friend who's a Capricorn rising ruled by Saturn. The moment that Saturn retrograded back into Pisces in her third house, she had her car stolen the next day. The day after Saturn went direct in Pisces, she was gifted a new car. It always lines up. The astrology always lines up. And myself, I'm an Aquarius rising ruled by Uranus. Well, Uranus is right now retrograde in Taurus. I am being surrounded by Taurian energy. So many Taurus sun signs are entering my life right now, and I'm just constantly surrounded by a lot of Tauruses. So you guys always want to pay attention to the ruler of the rising sign and where this ruler is moving, because it will determine what is currently taking place in your life, as well as the ruler of your perfection years. And so, yeah, going back to the chart, as I said, we got this Saturn, Neptune conjunction in Pisces, and they're all trining Mercury, and they're all trining an exalted Jupiter in Cancer. Guys, focus on the home. Focus on what you want your home life to look like. Focus on feeling good as well, because the mantra for Cancer is I feel. And Jupiter's just going to magnify and help you manifest everything that you're feeling. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling like you're not living up to your life's purpose, then yeah, you're going to keep having more of those emotions be magnified in your life, because Jupiter magnifies everything and everywhere that it goes. But if you're focusing on what you're grateful for, your family that you were born into, all your gifts that you were born with, all the opportunities that present themselves every single day, then Jupiter is going to magnify even more of those. This is where this astrology meets the law of attraction, because feeling is the secret. We don't get what we think about. We don't get what we want. We get what we feel, because it's what you're feeling in your body, what you're feeling with your subconscious mind, that your cells feel, and you are projecting more of that into your outward reality. What are you feeling today, Santos?
Yeah, I'm feeling that full moon. It's been very Geminian. It plays with your mind. So my mind was, I can imagine what it would do to mundane people who are unaware of
Yeah.
Sagittarius and Gemini full moon. That axis is very destructive, mentally, emotionally. But for me, because of the Mercury, if Mercury wasn't doing his shadow thing, it wouldn't bother me too much. The full moon. In fact, it really didn't. I slept well last night.
Also conjunct Lilith, the rebel.
Yeah. So it's Mercury that always bothers me. Mercury always bothers me because I have Mercury in Pisces, in detriment and in fall. Saved by the grace that he's 1 degree away from Jupiter, but
Thank God. Thank Jupiter Zeus. For real.
yeah, otherwise communication skills would have been non-existent.
Non-existent, exactly.
or whatever. But yeah, that Mercury, I can't wait for the 10th, because for me, that moon bumping over my MC right now and going into the public house is good. That's where I want my moon to be, in that house, because it's an angle. It's achieved that peak for me. It's Gemini. So just check your MC, whatever the MC is. When the moon is there, you have that moment of energy from the moon, especially when it's so every Sagittarius full moon for me is on my MC.
Gotta love Sag season. And, you know, of course, as the sun is in Sag, it's activating the ruler of Sagittarius as well, who is, you know, it's not only, Mercury's not the only part to play in this full moon, guys. We want to consider where the sun is as well. And the sun is activating Jupiter, who is exalted over in Cancer. And, you know, Cancer, both rulers of this full moon, Jupiter and Mercury, they're trining one another. I always like to describe that trines are like an open highway on the Autobahn. There's no traffic. You can go as fast as you want to go to your destination, and you can get there with no problems at all. In opposition, a square, well, you're dealing with some 5 o'clock traffic. Things are going to feel tense. You're going to feel like you may not ever get there, but that is not the truth. It's just presenting to you that you need to adopt some patience in this situation so that you can get to your end goal destination. And that's really what we're focusing on here. You know, recognize, guys, that gold is refined through the fire. Pressure makes diamonds. You know, on every single full moon, you're going to feel a certain level of intensity because the moon will always be opposite the sun. That's number one. Number two, full moons stimulate parasite activity. They leave your muscle tissue, they leave your muscles, they leave wherever they're hiding within your body, and they enter your colon, they enter your digestive system, so that they can harvest serotonin in the gut. So not only do you have an opposition in the heavens with potential more squares, in addition to that, though, you have parasite activity being active in your literal body. And then going back to the literal body, let's pay attention to the South Node in Virgo, and Virgo rules the gut, which is where these parasites would be going into today. And then the North Node over in Pisces, over in your feet. You know, with this Saturn and Neptune conjunction right now in Pisces, you know, ask yourself, did you have any struggles? Did you have any troubles while Saturn was still retrograde regarding your feet? Were you having skin issues? Because Pisces also rules the skin. Yes, it's the final part of the body, the feet, but it's also the last organ, your skin. And so you want to be paying attention to your skin health, your feet health. Wash your feet. Why do you think there's so many occurrences of the avatar of the age of Pisces teaching his disciples to wash their feet? Why? Because it's all about, you know, cleaning that auric energy, cleansing that energy so that you can fully be in peace in your feet. This is what reflexology is all about. Every single organ is presented at the bottom of your soles, from the soles of your feet. And so, you know, there's a whole lot of power going into that we want to pay attention to from our feet. Now, Santos, Dave is going to be joining us here in a little while. I'm just going to tell him to request to join as soon as he is on, and we're going to talk about, you know, living off of the sun, and there's so much conversation. People still make the mistake of buying into the viral reels, and they're like, we need a 13-month moon calendar. We need 13 signs. And they're missing the mathematics of this realm. Santos, if you could please quickly go into, why is there 12 of everything? And why is this realm built on 12 modes?
Because everything consists of waves, and waves are divided into 12 sections. 300 degrees divided by 12. That's it. Every wave is 360 degrees. Every wave. Thought wave, emotion wave, sound wave, light wave, whatever wave. It's all 360 degrees, and it's all divided into 12 30-degree segments. Period.
Honestly, you've never explained it simpler than I just heard right there. That's the best, though. It's so true. And as we're moving into this age of Aquarius, guys, what does the Aquarius glyph look like? It looks like a wave. It's water waves, but these water waves are not literal water. It's waters of wisdom being poured down from the heavens, from the God of heaven, from Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of astrology, technology, and the future. And so as we're seeing all this tech increase, we shouldn't always be afraid of the tech. Understand where this tech is coming from. You know, this tech is really coming from Uranus, who is the coming ruler of this age. As well as astrology. You know, astrology is founded within 12 signs, not 13. You cannot have 13 perfect divisions from a wave. It doesn't function that way. But you can have it functioning perfectly with 12 different sections, and those 12 different sections have 4 marker points, which are the solstices and equinoxes, which shows us that the sun transcends time because of these solstices and equinoxes. This is why the sun is Sol Invictus, sun undefeated, because it transcends Chronos, the restrictor, the father of time. But the sun is beyond time and the true ruler of this realm. Any thoughts on that, Santos?
Yeah. So, going back to the 13 month and 12 sign issue where people get so confused. Sun is the marker of time in the sense that he marks two cycles, the year and the day, and both of those are in the word. The sun is in the word day, deity, and year, yaram, Proto-Germanic for year. Why do we say year when it ends with an R? Where did the R go? But we still retain the R, yeah, because it's the Ram, Aries, Yaram. Okay? The sun does not rule months. The moon rules months. And there are 13 of those. And the Romans deliberately removed them for 2 reasons. In 1758, in England they did this, and throughout all the English, they changed the start of the year from Aries, April Fools, to Capricorn, January 1st. April 1st, January 1st. But if you go to the ecliptic, it doesn't matter whatever year they put on the ecliptic. God's year, God's wave, God's ecliptic will always mark the time. Yeah. We don't need watches. We don't need apparatuses. We just need to watch the sun. When it goes over to there, that's Capricorn. Aries, when the sun sets over there, that'll be Cancer. And then when it goes back to the Aries spot in the middle, equinoxes, it'll be Libra. And you can watch this all day long. The Holy Cross, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, Aries. So if you want to wrap the Julian calendar around it, or the Anno Domini calendar around that ecliptic, or the Gregorian correct calendar. You can do that, but just know that there are not 12 months. There are 12 signs. This is where everybody's confused. There are 12 months every year. Well, the other reason, I didn't get to that, why the Romans removed the natural lunar calendar, whereby, the months would be 28 days, they would be neat, every day would be the same. Monday would be always the second day of the week, Tuesday the third, right? And it wouldn't be mixed, and you wouldn't have to guess. The other reason was because anyone who gets a monthly salary now only gets 12 monthly salaries. So they tricked us. Instead of saying, look, there's 12 signs, and we're going to wrap the calendar around the 12 signs of the zodiac, because that's what you do. And you start at wave balance, which is the equinox of Aries. That's where the wave starts. It shouldn't start at wave amplitude in Capricorn. That's not. You start at either in September 23rd, Judgment Day, Libra, or March the 21st. Take your pick. But obviously, March the 21st is the cerebrum, Aries, the cerebrum, Taurus, the cerebellum, Gemini, the arms, Cancer, the boobies, Leo, the heart, Virgo, the belly, Libra, the scales, the kidneys, Scorpio, the generative system, hips, Sagittarius from hippo, kneecaps, Capricorn, shins, Aquarius, feet, Pisces. So, if you start the calendar, and this is for all those people who are deep thinkers but not clear thinkers. They always point to the fact that they're so clever that they discovered that September is the 9th month, and October is the 10th month, and November is the 11th, and December is the 12th. And yet, Sept, Oct, Nov, and Dec means 7, 8, 9, 10. So these geniuses are like, there you go. Ha ha! Aren't I a wizard? I worked all that out. Deep thinking, C- for clear thinking. You see, in the true calendar, these are the months. Starting March 21st, the first month is called Primus. The second month, Secundus. Third, Tertius. Fourth, Quartus. 6th month, Sixtus. So we're now in Virgo. See? Aries, Primus. Taurus, Secundus. Gemini, Tertius. Cancer, Quartus, the fourth house. Leo, Quintus. Virgo, Sixtus. And Libra, as it still is September. Yeah. So it is the 7th month. It's just that you're thinking that there are 12 months. There are not. There are 12 signs. And so the names of September, October, November, December, those are in the correct place. You see, March, April, May, June, and July and August were named by Julius Caesar. He said, let's get rid of first, second, Primus, Secundus, Tertius, Quartus, Quintus, Sextus. We'll leave Septimus, but I want to throw in some Roman gods. So, first of all is Mars. What a way to start the year, right? The god of Mars. Marble, maritime law, martial law, all the marble in Rome. It's all Mars. So first they wanted to honor Mars, then April, of course, the god of fertility and the sexy Venus and Easter, and then Maya, And then Julius Caesar said, well, that's 4. July will be for me, and Augustus will be for my son.
Mm.
And they called that the Julio-Gregorian, or the Julio-Claudian, or should I say the Augustine calendar, because Julius did not implement it.
Mm.
It was Augustus who implemented the AD calendar. So it's really the Augustine calendar, which was corrected by Pope Gregory in the 1500s. He did a good job. He did a great job. He corrected. The equinox was happening on March the 15th. He corrected it back to the 21st of March, and it's still correct. So there's the other people who are who are so confused, that complaining the Gregorian calendar is a disgrace and it's wrong, and it's not wrong. Can't be wrong, because the ecliptic rules, and everything else has to be pinned to the ecliptic. Full moons happen when the full moon happens. Doesn't matter what the fuck the calendar says. The calendar can say it's Gazubili Book Day. Now, how do I know that we're living by the 13-month calendar? Well, it's simple. Don't we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Mm.
Don't we have, so starting with Sunday, the sun, Monday the moon, Mars Tuesday, Mercury Wednesday, Jupiter Thursday, Friday's Venus, Saturn day, and then Sunday. So why is it that throughout the whole world, you go to China, you go to Japan, and they ask you, what day were you born? Tuesday. Ah, so you're a Tuesday person. So if we were not living by the 13-month calendar, throw out the weeks. Why do we have weeks? Because we're living by the 13-month calendar already, but we don't. I was born on a Sunday. Well, if that doesn't show, Monday people will be show people as well. They'll be show people, silver energy. Sunday's golden energy, silver. Monday is moody people. Tuesday are sports people, CEOs, successful people. Wednesday people are fast people, speedy, communicative, transport, quick thinkers, writers. Thursday people are rich, wealthy, generous, fat, lazy. Venus people, fat, lazy, beautiful, sexy, rich, prosperous, wise, wealthy. Saturday people, cruel, disciplined, devoted, diligent, masters, achievers. And that works. You can go to databases to source this information and find out how many of the top 100 sportsmen were born on a Tuesday. And probably about 50%.
Probably.
How many people that are CEOs of corporations are born on Tuesdays? How many people that are super, super generous and loving and happy are born on Thursdays? How many cruel, sadistic murderers were born on a Saturday? And high achievers.
Yeah.
It's provable. Well, we've got the technology. We can put this to rest. Easy. Comes the 21st of March, measure the iron for 30 days, 30 degrees. You measure the frequency on your machines. Get your machines out. Get them out. You're the tech guys. Get the fucking machines out. Measure the shit. Because how was it that the alchemists knew that they could transmute iron into gold when the sun is in Aries? The 21st of March and the 21st of April. How did they do that? And in Scorpio, they would transmute iron into gold in those two signs. So technology should be able to prove conclusively that tropical astrology is a science, period. April 21st, copper energy. You can measure the frequency. You can measure it. As soon as the 21st of April comes, iron goes out, copper comes in.
Mm.
And then on the 22nd of May, Gemini, Mercury, everything's mercurial, the whole world, everything goes mind, mental, Mercury. Then Cancer comes, at the Tropic of Cancer, silver. And that will be measured in technology. Mark my word, when they start switching onto this and getting their machines out. Look, I've got a friend, a genius from Canada. He's in his 80s. And he said, Santos, I know how to make food grow 10 times better and quicker than by any of these technologies. And he says, I do it by sound. He said, yeah, and I know which note you're playing. You're playing the green note, C, aren't you? And he looked at me and he said, yeah, how did you know? Yeah, well, because C is green, G is red, D is blue.
Love that. You know, Dave shared something with me similar earlier. He's going to share it when he joins us on the live here in about 15. By the way, he's going to join us 15 minutes after. But before he comes on, if you could, thank you for everything that you just now shared. If you could go into the sun and how the sun is superior to all these other heavenly bodies, and which is why, really, truly, tropical astrology is ruled based on the sun and its path, and how it is the sun which is our savior, who is our healer. Helios is our healer. If you go into some of that information about the sun, and because, you know, we know this, bro, as Saturn is in Pisces, as Neptune is there, there's many different Christians out there that are very, very zealous about Christianity right now more than ever. And they'll say, oh, well, the name of Jesus casts out demons. I don't know everything else, but I know the name of Jesus casts out demons. I don't know everything else, but all I know is I have a relationship with Jesus. And it's Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus this, Jesus that. And so we're seeing a whole lot of resurgence of passion of this religion right now. But what I'm also seeing in a resurgence of the passion of this religion is they're actually holding themselves back through spiritualism simultaneously. Because it is written that the commandments can be summed up in loving thy neighbor the way that you love yourself, which is the golden rule. But you cannot do so if you think that you are on a spiritual hierarchy because you believe something and someone else doesn't. You cannot love your neighbor the way that you love yourself if you think that you're destined for heaven but they're destined for hell. How is that love? That's not love. And you've shared this so many times, Santos, that good people are godly people. There's good people in Hinduism, good people who are Muslims, good people who are Christians and Jews, and, you know, Native American spirituality, demonizing Native American spirituality, even some of these people. You know, if you could kind of go into how it's the sun that unifies all those major religions, number one, but it is the sun who is truly our healer. And without the sun and its photosynthesis, we couldn't even live here.
Yeah. The sun is the projector onto the flat screen, which is the earth, where the theater is being illumined before our eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't see anything at night. The eyes are useless at night unless you have a third thing, which is what Plato was arguing. The ears are direct. Hearing is direct, doesn't need a third thing. Smell is direct, doesn't need a third thing. Taste is direct, doesn't need a third thing. Touch is direct, doesn't need a third thing. The only sense that needs a third thing is your eyes. It needs the sun.
Mm.
Right. So
So true. So true.
Yeah, that's the Trinity. The whole Trinity is the sun. So the sun is the one who has conceived all of the theatre that is happening on the earth. We are all particles of the sun. We are all goblets of the sun. We are all stars like the sun. Youngster, sister, spinster, master, mobster, gangster, trickster, rockstar, superstar, pastor, master, minister, monster, disaster, trickster, speedster. Everyone's, movie star. Everyone wants to be a star and is a star, youngster. And then we all have ancestors. So, funny about that. Everyone's a star, apparently. But you don't want to be an imposter or a disaster.
No.
You want to be a good star, a master, Mars, right? So when you know the ecliptic, then all that speculating about whether we should have a 13th sign and whether we should have 13 months and blah, 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 is irrelevant. People are arguing, making noise. It's just noise and troublemakers. They're stirring up. They're deep thinkers, but they're not clear thinkers. It's simple. The year is natural. Man can't make a year. We can't, it's not something from, it's natural. It's like we can't make a tree. Can man make a tree? No. So the same with the year. It doesn't matter what you call it. Gregorian, Chinese calendar, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They all know that there's March the 21st, June the 21st, September 21st, and December 21st. All the nations everywhere throughout history, forever, since time immemorial, have known that cross.
This is why there was crosses here in America before there was ever Columbus.
Yeah,
because my ancestors here were already aware of that path. They're already aware of that perfect path, which is never changing, which is why things like the Pyramid of Kukulkan were built to show that the sun's path never changes. And on spring equinox only, there is a shadow created, mimicking a serpent, descending down the Pyramid of Kukulkan, representative of the sun coming back, the messenger of God coming back to shine light and give life to all of us. Now, Santos, thank you so much for explaining that about the sun. We had some comments. If you could talk a little bit about Lucifer and who Lucifer is in AstroTheology, as well as who Lucifer is being explained by, the morning star. Who is this morning star, and why is there so much confusion on Luciferianism and who Lucifer is and is not?
Okay. So when Venus is forward of the sun, in other words, in front of the sun in astrology, Eastern, when she's Eastern, she rises before the sun, and this can only happen with Jupiter and Venus, right? But because there's only three bodies that can cast a shadow on the earth: the sun, the moon, and Venus, right? Now, so when Venus is forward of the sun before she goes retrograde, she will be Eastern. She'll be rising in the east. Then when she retrogrades and she goes all the way back, then you start seeing her at night. After the sun sets, you see Venus. But in the morning, in the east, when she's before the sun, she rises and she's Lucifer, and she's telling you she's the morning star. That's the morning star. But she's not always the morning star. She's also the evening star. Depending on whether she's in front of the sun or behind the sun. Right? So right now, let's look at astrology. Right now, she's behind the sun. So she's advancing. She's going to be in a month, she'll be forward of the sun. And then by the time the sun is in Capricorn, by the end of the year, Venus will be well forward of the sun, and you will start seeing her rising in the morning. So
Perfect time.
around January, you will see Lucifer.
Oh, so you're saying that Venus is Lucifer?
Yeah, because it's the only star that can be seen before the sun rises.
Mm.
No other star can be seen until the sun passes the twilight. But during the twilight, Venus is still there. When she is forward of the sun, right now she's trailing the sun by 7 degrees. So in 7 days or 10 days, she will catch up with the sun. She'll be conjunct the sun. And then she'll go past the sun and she'll be forward of the sun.
Now, could you explain a little bit of...
So no, wait a minute. I got that backwards. It's the reverse.
It's okay.
So in January, you're going to be seeing her. Yeah, January up until March, April. You'll be seeing her as the evening sun. So it's going to be later on. There should be the morning star. Anyway, that's Lucifer.
Yeah.
And the sun is Lucifer during the day.
Mm.
During the night, he is Satan. See, Satan. During the day, the third thing, the sun turns up so your eyes can see. So that's Lucifer, the light bringer. But why is he evil? Because the eyes are deceiving you, always.
Mm.
What you see is not what is.
Mm.
None of it is. So Lucifer turns up every day to deceive your ass through your eyes. But then Satan turns up at night, you can't see, and you're walking and you trip over and you fall and you break your neck. That's why Satan's bad. The dark is bad, the light is bad, the dark is bad, the light is bad. They're both good and evil. Because the light shows you what really doesn't exist. And people think it's real shit.
Now, I think this is going back to that verse where it says, "O Thomas, you see and you believe, but great is he who has not seen and still believes." It says the ruler of the age of Pisces, Jupiter, Zeus, pulling from counter space, pulling from the unseen always, and it's Jupiter who does that.
Yep. This is why Christians think they're so privileged that when they say the name Jesus, demons flee. Well, but it's not because some historical Jesus turned up 2,000 years ago and you think it was literal. It's because that sound, Jesus, is a sound which cleanses the air and demons cannot stand it. It cleanses the air. Jesus, Jupiter, Zeus, Jesus, however you want to say it, make that sound when demons are around, because in my name you will be saved. It's the sound. It's got nothing to do with a dude that came, to be born of a virgin so he can suck her tits for a few years.
How many saviors have been born of a virgin, died, and resurrected in 3 days, Santos? How many?
Every single one. Mithras, Osiris, Horus, Dionysius, Sabazius, Abraxas.
That's 5, 6.
Abraham, Israel and his 12 signs, Jesus and his 12 disciples, Arthur and his 12 Knigets,
Okay.
Jason and his 12 voyages, Hercules and his 12 labors. It's simple. When the spring comes, you do a spring cleaning for the May Queen. Right. Then Gemini. So you're every year, people don't realize they're doing 12 labors. When Aries comes, you clean house. There's blossom. It's a new year. It's the beginning. You start with a clean house. You do a spring clean. For the May is coming in Taurus, the ruler of Taurus, right? In Taurus, you do practical things. You plant seeds for the harvest in Virgo. So you go out, you pull out the plow, and you do this work. You do labor. Taurus is for labor, April. It's always a laborious month. In fact, in Australia, I think it is Labor Day is in that sign. Gemini, commerce, buying and selling, technology, transportation, writing books, releasing a book, Cancer, investments, restoring your home, paying respect to your ancestors. This is happening all year long. So we're all doing, every year we do these 12 labors. We just go round in a loop. The year is not going that way. It's going like this.
Yeah.
Forever. And when you count 1,000 of those, then it repeats again on a higher octave.
Yeah.
But history repeats every 1,000 years.
So 12 signs, but 13 months is what you were saying earlier. And
yeah.
12 signs in 13 months is what he was saying earlier, guys. But it is the sun who is in charge of the ecliptic. And as he said, the sun is the projector on the theater screen of Earth. Because Earth is an anagram for heart, yes, but it is also an anagram for theater. Which is why the ancestors always said that this realm is Maya. It is illusion. It is a theater screen, which you always need that third thing to see, because you cannot see out of these eyes without that third thing giving you light. And that is the only sense that you need a third thing for that sense to function. Your smelling functions without the sun. Your ears function without the sun. But your eyes, you need the sun to see. It brings light to dark places. But it also paints lucid visions in front of you, because these eyes are deceiving. What you really want to rely on is your first eye, your third eye, your cerebrum. Santos, if you could, as soon as your screen clears up here, we got the spinning circle of death.
My life just went dead.
Okay. It's spinning on my end. Okay, there we go. You're back. If you could, before Dave comes on here, he's going to request to join here momentarily. If you could, I forgot exactly what I was going to ask you just now. Please share about the cerebrum being Sarah and Abraham. If you could dive into that, some of that astrotheology really quick. And by the way, I think that you have some troublesome service right there. It's very fuzzy right where you are. I don't know if you're able to move.
This is the best spot.
Okay. Super fuzzy though, just so you know, like we can barely see you and it's going in and out.
That's probably a good thing.
Cerebrum, Sarah and Abraham.
Yeah, the Sarah in heaven, heaven. Sarah is Ceres, the god of cereals. You'll find she is Rhea, right? Rhea, the consort of Saturn. Time. Rhea is area, space, time space. So you have an S and an R, right? So Rhea is in cereals, ceres, bread. Huh. That's cute. Dream. So is she the dream weaver, or is she the reality queen? You'll see her in the word dread, fear, freer, freedom. Yeah. She's Maria, the wife of Joseph. Seth is Set, Saturn. See how it goes from astrology to theology? Saturn and Rhea, Sat, Set, Seth, Joseph. Joe meaning father Seth, Joseph, Saturn, and his consort, Mother Rhea. It's right there in your face. People, deep thinkers will say, you see, well, the devil does these tricks. He plays with this etymology and to deceive people from the true Jesus, which is the Southern Baptist Church, not the Northern, because they're going to hell. Just ask a Southern Baptist, right? Now, so here we have in the east Brahma and Saraswati. And the Jews, Abram and Sarah. In Babylon, they had Astarte and Marduk. In the Bible, it's Queen Esther and her cousin Mordecai. Funny about that. The parents of Jupiter Zeus. Now let's see, who are they? Saturn and Rhea. Joseph, Set, and Mother Rhea. So Father Seth, old man time, and Mother Rhea, Maria, Mary, the mother of Jesus, Jupiter Zeus. So that's clear thinking, as opposed to the deep thinkers who are out there confuddled themselves and confounded and befuddled and stupefied and sharing their deep research with people and confounding everyone. and it's just simple. Just know the ecliptic.
And you would say that the ecliptic is on the film reel that's being projected out onto the Earth, correct? Not the constellations, but the ecliptic.
When the sun hits the balance point on the equinox of March the 21st, the holiest of all holy days, everything is in balance. There is equal day, equal night, equinox. The equinox is the beginning of the year in Aries, 0 degrees, right ascension of meridian. Just ask all astronomers, where does right ascension of meridian begin? 0 degrees Aries on the 21st of March. So when that happens, that is an event. The year has begun and it will end there. Not in Capricorn. And there are 13 months. Yes, there are 13 months, but we don't necessarily need them. It would be good for the people who are getting monthly salaries. They'll get an extra salary, the poor slaves, an extra month. And we'll also be able to separate the months from, which is the moon, from the 12 signs, which is the sun. The sun is not the governor of months. It's got nothing to do with months. It's year and day. The moon is months and weeks. But we're already doing the weeks, so it doesn't matter. And it can be proven that people born on a Sunday are a certain type of personality. Just study me and you'll understand a Sunday born.
Oh, for sure. And you're an Aries sun. Oh, yeah. And Leo rising ruled by the sun.
Yeah, and everything in everything is one in my
Everything.
ring. So I was born in 1963. That's one. I was born on the 24th of the 3rd, 1963. 28 reduces down to 10, reduces down to 1. I'm Aries, number one. Born on a Sunday, first day of the week. There's 4 number ones. In the tarot, I'm the Queen of Wands. In the Babylonian system, I'm the Queen of Clubs.
Mm.
And the 24th of March is the true New Year's Eve. The 25th of March is the day when the sun begins to give longer days and shorter nights in the Northern Hemisphere. Therefore, the 25th of December, which is the day of conception. Wait a minute. So the sun is conceived on the 25th of March and he's born on the 25th of December. 9 months earlier.
Yeah.
So he's conceived in Aries on the 25th. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
In the ecclesiastical whatever calendar, the 25th of March is called the day of the conception of the Son, the Virgin. The Virgin conceived on the 25th of March. And then the Virgin gives birth on the 25th of December. 9 months later.
Wow. Perfect timing. And it's all based on the sun, who is our healer, who is our savior. Without the sun, we would cease to exist. Guys, the moon is not giving us photosynthesis to grow plants, for us to have food as fuel to function and experience everything in this realm. Saturn's not doing that. Jupiter's not doing that. Venus isn't doing that. Mars isn't doing that. It's the sun doing that. So it's the sun who is our savior. And all of these stories are stories trying to point you back to the source of all life, the Son of God. And if it wasn't for the sun projecting that life, projecting that light, we would cease to exist here in this realm. And, this is also much of what the Essenes were talking about. Because the Essenes were Helio-Gnostics. All early Christians were Helio-Gnostics. They were knowers of the sun. And they knew the sun's path. And they lived off of the sun. Which is another reason why they rejected animal sacrifice, because this is a Saturnian ideology. It's Saturnian. Animal sacrifice is Saturnian. Those of you engaging in animal sacrifice for food are engaging in Saturnian ideologies, satanic ideologies. It's a death cult. You're a part of a death cult. Whether you knew that or not, you've been tricked into living off of a death cult because you're so removed from what's going on behind the 4 corners of your plate. You're just thinking, chicken wings, hamburger, and some bacon. 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 Living off the same 3 GMO hybridized animals, which pigs mimic 98% of your DNA in the first place, which is why you have so many humans that look like pigs when they're fat. And then you got the modern cow, which is a hybridization of the ancient Brahma bull. And then you got the chicken, which is another hybridization of so many other birds. And, you thought GMO crops were bad. GMO animals are even worse. And you're engaging in a death cult, number 1. Number 2, then you're consuming their last emotions that they felt stored into their nervous system right before they died because they were in fear right before they died. Then you eat that fear, and you think that it's food. But Pythagoras would not teach you a single solitary secret of his as he was teaching the laws of the universe and esoteric teachings. He would not teach you a single solitary secret of his if you were still engaging in animal sacrifice in a religion built on death. If you want to share some more thoughts on that, Santos, about what it took to become a disciple of Pythagoras, and who were the Pythagoreans?
So the Pythagoreans were philosophers, walkers of the path, ascending ones, conscious people in the higher mind, they would never eat an animal. They would never hurt an animal. It's unthinkable to even touch an animal in such a way and then eat their rotting corpses. Pythagoras, Porphyry, Celsus, all the great masters of Neoplatonism denounced flesh eating because it makes people stupid and ugly. They all look like the animals they're eating. They can't hide it. The hospitals are full of flesh eaters, right? There's no vegans there. Obese people. Any vegans that are obese? No.
Well, I will be honest, there are some fat vegans out there, but they're living on processed foods. They're not whole food plant-based vegans. They're eating a lot of bread and vegan cheese and vegan ice creams and vegan desserts, but they're living on processed foods. That's entirely different than someone living off of fruits and vegetables, or fruits, vegetables, and fungi. But I mentioned earlier, guys, most people are living off the same 3 hybridized animals that are not even real animals. They're the same 3 hybridized animals, instead of realizing that they have over 200,000 different fruits, vegetables, and fungi to choose from. That's number 1. Number 2, no true anatomical carnivore ever experiences heart disease, atherosclerosis. No true anatomical, the anatomy, true anatomical carnivore ever experiences heart disease or atherosclerosis. Like lions, alligators, name a carnivore and look it up. See if they've ever died from heart disease or atherosclerosis. It never happens. Why? Because they have the anatomy, the proper acidic production, the proper hydrochloric acid in their gut to digest putrefying flesh. It's only humans who have been tricked into believing that they are omnivores or carnivores, even this whole ridiculous worldwide carnivore movement led by Paul Saladino, MD, who used to call himself Carnivore, MD, who is now consuming a lot of fruit, and that fruit is keeping his ass alive. That, in addition to this pretty much steroids, I'm pretty sure he's on all the time. You look at him and Liver King, and they just look like they're roided up like crazy.
They might do well for a few months and make a lot of money from their YouTube channels, but just wait 6 months and see all the wrinkles and the porky face and the diseases, and they'll end up in the hospitals where all flesh eaters end up. No vegans are there.
The Liver King is super sick now. The Liver King is super sick.
You know the Liver King? That guy, the Liver King?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dying of liver disease.
Yeah, he's off his rocker, straight up.
Let them die. They're stupid. Besides, flesh eaters are stupid. So why talk about them? They're stupid. They're out and out stupid. They are not intelligent. They might be clever and smart, like a smartphone, or a clever criminal who ends up in prison by cheating people on Bitcoin or whatever. They're clever. They're smart. But we, Pythagoreans, we are intelligent. So they're doing their stupid talk. Oh, you get protein from eating rotting corpse. Oh, you get this, and oh, you get that. And I feel better. And the vegan diet failed me. That's because you, stupid fuck, you're a failure. You will always be a failure. You'll fail in your new diet just as much as you failed in your vegan diet. I've been vegan for 18 years. I haven't failed.
You know, how you do one thing, guys, is how you do everything. And if you treat going plant-based, going vegan the same way that you've treated other failures in your life, yeah, you're going to fail at it. But you got to think with your higher mind, with your crown, with your cerebrum, and realize what you have available to you in this beautiful, magical world. This world is absolutely magical for those with eyes to see and those with ears to hear. Because you then realize that you're truly living in the modern Garden of Eden. You have 80,000 different fruits and vegetables. You include the fungi kingdom, you got 200,000 different fruits, vegetables, and fungi to choose from. as food for fuel, which you don't even need that much food to have as fuel. Maybe 1 or 2 meals a day. If you're not exercising, you definitely only need 1 meal a day. If you're exercising, okay, sure, maybe you need 2 or 3 meals a day. But that's if you're exercising. And that's really what food is meant to be for us, is fuel for us to perform, fuel for us to exercise, fuel for you to live up to your capabilities. You know, I say it all the time that God's gift to us is our potential, and what we do with that potential is our gift back. And all of you were born with some gifts that maybe you're just not feeding properly. And so I'm going to encourage you to start feeding those gifts properly by living off of the sun. And when you're living off of the sun, you're going to be a solar being. Waiting for Dave to hop on. He said he was in a rough spot as far as service goes, but he'll hop on here shortly, any minute now, I'm sure. What you really want to focus on and understand, guys, is, you know, so much of what we're talking about today is how the sun is superior, the sun in its path is superior to all other heavenly bodies, which is why we are born through the moon, but we ascend back to cause through the sun. Mike Guide, you go ahead and get removed from the live because you're a troll. Peace. All trolls, you're getting kicked. You're getting kicked and booted from the live. If you're in the comments section trying to troll, you're getting booted. We got 0 time for trolls. 0 time for degenerates.
Take a screenshot of their photos and show the world how ugly they are. They're all stone motherless ugly. All of them.
Yeah, man. I mean, they expose themselves. They really expose themselves. And it shows, you know, how much intelligence they lack because they don't have the ability to have critical thinking. You know, critical thinkers are presented different options and they choose the best option. Not only for them, but for all parties. And anyone with critical thinking skills can truly easily find out quickly that an organic, whole food, plant-based lifestyle is the #1 way for humans to function in this realm. Santos, what do you have for food every day, brother? What do you live off of?
What the idiots say you shouldn't eat. Fruit.
Why do they say that we shouldn't eat fruit?
Because they're stupid.
A big reason that they'll tell me that we shouldn't eat fruit is it's high in sugar. Oh, it's too much sugar. It's too much sugar.
Doesn't matter arguing with it. As soon as they say you shouldn't be doing sugar, you know they're stone motherless stupid. Walk out of the conversation because sugar makes you sexy, fruit makes you sexy, and the rest makes you ugly and stupid. And they're stupid, so don't argue with stupid people who say don't eat fruit.
Yeah.
And to eat pig's bums, for instance, you know, your bacon and eggs, you know. Pig bum and chicken period for breakfast. What a way to detoxify your body and look like a pig. And be as stupid as a pig.
That's a good example of not casting your pearls before swine. Pearls of wisdom. You don't want to cast your pearls before swine, guys. Well, brother, you know, I was waiting for Dave to hop on here. I don't know if he's going to be able to hop on. I've texted him a few different times, trying to get him on here. But I can just get into it myself here. So, for those of you who are curious and looking to live an organic, whole food, plant-based lifestyle, you want to go vegan. You want to be plant-based, but you do not know how to. You don't know if you're going to get enough protein. You don't know if you're going to get enough protein. You don't know if, you know, where to get all your food from. You don't know exactly how to shop. You don't know what you need to get from the grocery stores. What you need to do is you got to understand you cannot go into a new situation without cleansing your past first. And that's what you want to do with the ultimate lifestyle transformation. The ultimate lifestyle transformation is exactly how it sounds. It's an ultimate lifestyle. It's going to change the style of your life through a transformation. It's going to transform your style of life. Myself and Santos have been on these products for a few different years now, but these are really superfoods. These superfoods inside of this bag right here, the Power Shake, are sun-dried, wind-dried, activated by water, grown in virgin soil that's never been exposed to pesticides before. And because it's never been exposed to pesticides before, you know that it's clean. You know, everyone's out there complaining about environmental toxins, chemtrails this, fluoride that, glyphosate this, and whatever. But, you know, you're just feeding into the problems. Be a solutionist. Be resourceful. Don't focus on all the animal slaughterhouses. Focus on the resources that you do have available to you. Fruits, vegetables, and fungi. And what we have here inside of the Power Shake is wheatgrass, spirulina, oatgrass juice powder, amaranth, chia seeds, quinoa. So many amazing superfoods that have been sun-dried and wind-dried, activated by water with the enzymes still intact. Why are the enzymes important? Because that's going to keep the electrical charge of the sun intact within the food. So that the moment that food enters your body's enzymes don't have to get distracted and focus on digesting this food now. Instead, your body's enzymes are going to maintain their current regenerative path of whatever they're doing in your body. And then the enzymes in the food are going to help you digest that food. It keeps your enzymes of your body focused on what they're already doing. And then the enzymes in the food help you digest that food. But when you introduce cooked food and you've killed the enzymes in the food, now your enzymes have to get distracted. Your enzymes get distracted from, I don't know what kind of, it's like there's some kind of background noise now. Is the phone on something?
There's the road over that.
No, the road was fine. It was from me speaking. I think that it was a reverberation from the phone. Okay,
that should be better.
Yeah. So, keeping the enzymes alive in your food, guys, is going to help you feel at the highest vibration possible. But once you kill those enzymes, you're creating the proper environment for parasites to thrive. And you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be creating an environment for parasites to thrive. That's what parasites will come from within the body, because the body is smart and it will do everything that it can to try and get undigested waste out of your body. So you will create your own parasites from within the body to try and digest the digested food, to try and digest the undigested waste. You have waste buildup within your gut, and that waste buildup within your gut from heavy metals, from undigested waste, from all of these things is why parasites are created in the first place. But if you remove the heavy metals, then you focus on pulling out the undigested waste, then you're going to have a clear gut, and then you're going to be really in tune with your gut feeling, but not until then. Many of you are out of tune with your gut feeling because you have undigested waste, upwards of 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, sitting in your gut. And that's why you're out of tune with your gut feeling. You got to remove the undigested waste first. So that's what's going to come as food from the ultimate lifestyle transformation. Santos has been drinking these shakes for 3 years now. 3 years now, Brother Santos has been drinking these shakes. That's just the food. Then let's talk protein. Super Amino 23 is the most supreme protein on the planet. There is no better protein on the planet than Super Amino 23. This is 99% pre-digested protein. Every single time you have a steak, you have a chicken wing, you have some eggs, you have, it doesn't matter, any type of animal protein, not only are you causing uric acid on your body, acid, aka you're leaning towards acidosis, aka dis-ease, not only are you causing uric acid on your body, which is an inflammatory marker, but you're also going to produce 70% waste from that food. So your body's going to have to do every single thing that it can to try and get that waste through your kidneys, liver, digestive system, and lymphatic system. Then you poop it out. Big problem. With these, no digestion taking place at all. 99% pre-digested, concentrated, fermented, non-soy legumes. Santos, how much life force do these aminos give you, brother? If you could just share on your experience with the aminos.
Well, I'm zipping about all day on them, brother. I'm just like a Super Mario. Sebastian here, he's in his 40s. He sees what I do. He says, like, I'll get up at 6, bang, 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 like a ping pong ball, going from one protocol to another, from one thing to another, till 9 o'clock in the evening. We both go to sleep. Action all day, man. And
you're how young?
Huh?
How young are you?
62.
62. Probably running laps around most 62-year-olds.
I reckon so.
Yeah. And you've had, just because we've had some shipping problems before, what's your vitality like on when you have the aminos, and then on some of the months when you didn't have some aminos? What's your vitality? How could you compare it?
Noticeable. That's why I'm wondering, when's the next shipment? Because I've only got 3 days worth left.
It's on its way, brother. It should arrive, I would say, early next week. Probably Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, because I'm going to take 12 to 15 of those every day.
Yeah. You got a 6-pack on the way, too. So, guys, you guys just heard from Santos himself that, he's consuming these every single day. Every single day, taking Super Amino 23. And you can thank Dr. Luca Moretti for creating the master amino pattern. And Purium, which means pure and premium, has the copyrights to Super Amino 23. And because we have the copyrights to Super Amino 23, we're the only company who will pay you to not only consume these, the most digestible protein on the planet, but also to share the most digestible protein on the planet. That's another thing that's beautiful about Purium, guys, is all these other superfoods that you may be taking, whether you're ordering them from Amazon.com or from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, Mother's Market, whatever, all these other things that you're consuming, you're going to be spending your money on those superfoods, okay, and you may get some vitality from those superfoods, but are you recycling your money? Purium gives you the opportunity to recycle your money. Why? Because they will give you a kickback when you recommend these superfoods to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers, to your network. Anybody who buys through your discount code, you will get a 25% cut from Purium. They will pay you to share these superfoods. No other superfood company will do that. Not on Amazon.com, not at Whole Foods, not Kachava, not Sun Warrior, not Planta, not Truvani, not these other plant protein companies. No one else is going to do that for you. What all is it good for? This is pure protein, baby. Dave is here now. I'm going to let Dave explain. Dave, I'm going to add you, brother. All right. Just sent you the invite, brother Dave. And you could just start from the top if you want to, brother. But actually, first, Dave, I'm going to request that you... I just now sent the invite. He's going to hop on here in a second. Thanks for joining us while you're traveling, bro. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Just wanted to drop in and say hello and appreciate the invitation. Appreciate the conversation. and let me know if there's anything I could add to it.
Sure, brother. Sure, guys. For both of you who don't know, for anyone who doesn't know, Dave is the founder and product formulator of the company Purium that we were talking about. This organic whole food supplements superfood company, corporated here in Long Beach, and I'm very excited. This is now our second live together with these two amazing leaders. And for those of you who don't know, they are both Leo risings, and their charts reflect one another in many different ways. Not only are they both Leo rising, ruled by the sun, but Dave is a Pisces sun, Aries moon, and Santos is an Aries sun, Pisces moon. So y'all are a reflection in so many different ways. It's pretty incredible. Dave, if you wanted to, please, brother, please share some quick thoughts that you shared with me earlier about that verse that you shared from the book of the Essenes and living off the
Yeah,
sun.
yeah. I'm an Ann Wigmore taught devotee of living food lifestyle and green food lifestyle, and she always liked to quote. Excuse me, 1 second. Haven't been talking all day. There we
All
go.
good, brother. No worries.
But yeah, and there's this. I'll try to get the verse right. When the Essenes ask Jesus, when we seek healing from the Heavenly Father, how should we address, Him in our prayers? And Jesus said, "Well, cast your eyes not to the sky, but to the humble green grass that lay beneath your feet. For
Mm,
in those green plants lie the healing angels of the air and the water and the sun." And this is sort of the healing gift that was given to us. And so, whether it be, sprouting, you know, uh, you know, um, different things in your trays, whether it be growing wheatgrass or, whether it be tapping into the work that I've done to provide these stable, enzyme rich, pure, organic green food powders. And the cool part about what I've done in my own, mind and my own heart, what I think is really cool anyway, we all are proud of different things, but I'm proud of my packaging is also made out of plants. What's inside is our plants, and what's on the outside is plants. And so when you are done with this package, you could put it directly into your compost. You could just put a flower into it with some soil and put it out into your garden, however you choose to honor, Mother Earth that way. But,
mm,
our belief is that, the footprint that we leave is the footprint that our grandchildren might trip in. So let's make
mm,
sure for it not to be too deep. And and so again, appreciate you guys joining me. And yeah, we did choose an unusual way to bring our products to the world, and I heard you talking about that as I tapped in. And when you go to a retail store, you need to know that there's a system that brings that product to that shelf. And that system has 4 different levels, right? That system is multi-leveled. And it starts with the distributor who buys the product from the manufacturer, and then that distributor is represented by 2 different middlemen, and those different middlemen are responsible for getting that product from the distributor into the shelves and onto the shelves of various stores that the distributor serves. And so in that process, there's a lot lost, a lot of energy lost. You've got to
mm,
advertise on the radio, television, magazines, internet, whatever it might be. And you have to give a cut to every one of those people. You have to give a cut to the distributor, which is a pretty big cut because they're the ones moving the stuff around on trucks for you. There's the cut that you give to the jobber, the one who makes sure it's on the shelf, to make sure that it gets picked up by the store. And then you got the cut of the store itself, which is the largest cut of all. And by the time all of those people get their cut, the quality of the product that you get is dictated by the amount of cut that they get.
mm,
So the more profit that they make, the more likely it is that they're going to put that product on the shelf. And the more profit that they make is probably predicated on the quality that went into the product. Because if there's more profit, there's less quality typically. And
mm.
so we needed to cut all of that out and have the people who use our products, be the ones who tell people about them. And the
Yeah.
only reason they would recommend our products is if they had a good experience with them.
Mm.
And through that methodology, through that philosophy, we have come about to do things a little different way than most people do. And even though we use what's called a network marketing model, we are so different than any other network marketing company.
Yeah.
And so, we invite you to see that we've got the best of both worlds. We bring you products delivered directly to your doorstep. And I've been talking too long, so the last thing I'm going to say is,
No, you're not, bro. You're not. You're talking just enough. Go ahead.
well, imagine if you could hire somebody to go out and select over 200, 250 organic herbs and superfoods and concentrates and tinctures, and to use alchemy and science to compose those into formulas that work synergistically together in a holistic way. And then to deliver those every day, every week, every month as you desire directly to your doorstep. Imagine if you could hire somebody to do that for you. And that's the partnership that we have. I'm that person.
Mm.
I'm the person who searches the world for those ingredients and mixes them together and packages them in a very ethical way and delivers them directly to your doorstep, the ones you need, the ones you want. And that could change over time. But
Mm.
nonetheless, the quality is what won't change. So that's just, that's my drop, and hope that you feel, that that's my passion.
Got a few more things for you, Dave, if you still have time, brother.
All
Um,
right.
so you mentioned the Essene quote. Love that. I'm gonna revert back to that really quick, and then we'll get back to the power shake. But I'm doing this on purpose. It's through what process that we get to? What's that process called that we consume that sunlight energy? How is that taking place?
So when I was living on sunlight, and I know that we talked about this before, when I was living on sunlight, I had to increase my chloroplast activity within my cells.
Mm.
So even though I was theoretically a breatharian, I was consuming about 9 calories a day in the form of wheatgrass, fresh pressed wheatgrass, in order to increase my ability to transmute sunlight, to become more like that plant and use that, photosynthetic type of activity for energy. And so when you think about the sun and you think about plants and you think about energy, plants are sort of the prism of the sun's energy. They'll
Mm.
take and transmute the sun's energy in a form that we could benefit from it. And that form are chlorophyll rich foods that perform photosynthesis and synthesize, that sun's energy into a form that is consumed by animals and provides life to them, consumed by humans and provides life to them as well. So again, if you want to be enlightened, I always say, then you got to get the light within. And
Mm.
if you want the light within, you've got to consume plants that transmute that light. And so
Mm.
the more of that sunlight energy you get within your body, then I call that sort of, being enlightened, in a different way.
Perfect. Perfect. That scene quote goes so perfect with that as well. Now, would you say that photosynthesis is really? Let me ask you this: are you saying that we need chlorophyll to survive in this realm? We need chlorophyll.
Well, it'd be hard pressed to imagine that we could survive without green plants, I know that some people could live only on green plants, and other people seek to get the energy in a secondary fashion, maybe to eat things that ate those green plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah, even if you try to separate yourself that way, you're still only living because of green plants, whether you eat them directly or eat them in a secondary fashion.
Mm. Might as well go to the first source, though. Now,
That's right.
if you could, brother, explain why these are the most superior protein on the planet, the most superior protein source on the planet, and why you're so excited to share it with the world.
Well, it's just that I found that, one of the reasons why our body ages and suffers and degrades itself is because of some acids. Let's just call it, to simplify away, uric acid.
Mm.
Uric acid, you think about it as leading to gout, contributing to osteoporosis, but it also causes your body to have inflammatory responses across the board. And so, as we look at a diet that tries to separate itself from these secondary sources of protein and maximize the primary sources of protein, the super amino acid pattern is derived completely from plants. It is composed in a manner to where, as long as you're post-pubescent, it's not the perfect protein for pre-pubescent, people. But post-pubescent, it is the perfect protein. 99.9% of it, let's say 99.5% to be absolutely sure, is utilized in positive metabolic activity by your body. That means it becomes, muscle, becomes skin, becomes collagen, becomes something positive for the body. And the metabolic waste is less than half of 1%.
Mm.
Now, the metabolic waste is what must go through your liver, go through your kidneys, and the less metabolic waste created from your protein source, it really contributes to all of your overall health and longevity, your wellness, And so the fact that we could deliver a protein that is digested beginning in 23 minutes, completely digested within an hour, means you could know exactly when you're going to have this protein available to your body, especially if you like to exercise. You can know exactly when that protein is going to be building muscle and coordinate your consumption while maximizing your result, you
Mm.
know? And so, nonetheless, what I do is I try to utilize it as a protein for one of my meals, maybe two of my meals a day. And so, knowing, that I've got that in my life is really, really comforting to me, reducing our reliance upon secondary proteins should be really at the forefront of a lot of people's perhaps New Year's resolution.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So consider going plant-based, number one, but number two, consuming the best source of protein on the planet, superior to all other plant proteins as well as animal proteins. This is the most digestible protein on the planet. Now, Santos, you shared some thoughts before Dave was on. If you could just share a few thoughts with him about how thankful you are for the aminos and what they've done to your life since that you've had them.
Yeah, well, so I'm trying to, and I really mean this, I'm trying to be a breatharian. I'm not interested in eating and pooing and wiping my bum. So too mundane. It's just too mundane. So I'm going to achieve it, and it might take me 10 years, it might take me 40 years. But I'm a minimalist. I don't overeat. I've never been a glutton. I've always been very, very, very skinny. My sister died of obesity last year. She was obese like a bull, right? So she had that hormonal problem. Her younger brother, me, was the opposite. I can't put weight on, right? So here I am. I'm just fruit and vegetables and minimal stuff, and I'm not eating big dishes like people do. Fill their stomachs up. So it's helping me keep. I mean, I'm skinny, but I'm strong, man. Very, very strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very iron-like. So yeah, the amino acids keep me vital and the spring in the step. I wake up in the morning and I'm just right on it. I'm doing shit.
Well, I
Now,
love that. And, you get so tired, most proteins will just weigh you down. They tire you out. And the aminos have no impact on your body that is not contributing to, cellular synthesis and, building up. There's anabolic and there's, catabolic. And this is completely anabolic energy.
Absolutely. Now, Santos, would you say that your body was in a catabolic state before introducing the aminos?
Yeah, sure.
And you could
And
tell.
there's a term for that. It's called osteopenia. And osteopenia is when it becomes more difficult to put muscle on as we age. And the super aminos are clinically proven to reverse that condition, to change that. And this is critical for people to not think that, I'm not the way I once was. Well, that is a clinically proven fact, and there's a reason for it. And we have a clinically proven solution as well.
Thank you for sharing that, Dave. Now, going into three more things, guys, three more products. Santos, I know that you love this so much. If you could, remind the world why you love this so much and what you do with it.
Well, the malic acid content is richer than even apple juice. So when I do my monthly liver flash, I do apothecary I drink that for 7 days, soften the stones, and then do the liver flash for the new moon.
Brilliant. So I want to build on that. When I was in a head-on collision and I had bone fragments floating free in my body, I drank a gallon worth of raw pressed organic apple juice mixed with a quarter of a bottle of apothecary every day. And within 2 months, they couldn't find any more on the x-rays, any more floating bone fragments.
Wow. Because of the malic acid.
Because of the malic acid had dissolved the bone fragments, just like it dissolves kidney stones, as he was talking about.
So that's for new moons, guys. That's for dissolving bone fragments, dissolving kidney stones and these things to cleanse the organs and do a liver flush simultaneously. But Dave, why is this part of the core four? Why is this so important for every American to be consuming this every single night?
Well, it's really important to get a quality night's sleep. Everybody knows it. It's the simplest thing to say it, and it's a lot harder to do it. When you start to incorporate the foods that help your circadian rhythms, of course, are part of that whole rhythms that help your body to stay in like a clock, ticking just right. And so when you get into deep sleep, it means that you've passed through REM sleep. And when you come out of deep sleep, you pass through REM sleep again. It's like a deep sleep sandwich. And when that cycle of REM, deep REM, is met, then you will have processed a lot of stress, processed a lot of, neurotransmissions that tell your body to repair this, repair that, repair this, repair that. But those neurotransmissions never get passed if you don't get into deep sleep. Okay? And these certain things, this relieving of stress, of unprocessed thoughts, never happens. And then every day you wake up with the weight of last night's unprocessed thoughts and tonight's unprocessed thoughts and tomorrow's unprocessed thoughts are just going to be added into that cart. And this deep sleep is so relieving, so energizing, so refreshing. And you don't realize what not one good night's sleep is, because you know that that's just a tease. You need 2 or 3, 4, and 5 good night's sleep in a row, and you're a new person. So you see the person
Absolutely.
who goes to Vegas and stays up every night and they come home looking like death warmed over. And then you see the person who goes to Palm Springs and stays in a spa and they come home and they look like a brand new flower because
Mm,
they've been getting sleep and relaxation and self-care.
yeah.
And I hate to use such a vivid example of Vegas, and like that, but I just trying to, tell it like it is.
Yeah. So what is in the apothecary then that's allowing someone to get that deep sleep?
So it's a natural source of melatonin. Um, and there's very few in any foods that actually do have melatonin. This is one of only like two or three. And it's more than that, though. It has a certain type of antioxidant impact on the body that's the same as having like 5 servings of blueberries before you go to bed.
Wow.
And while you're sleeping, there's this major, free radical scavenging going on. And
Mm,
so that, in addition to, people don't realize that carbohydrates actually allow your body to relax. They
mm,
allow your body to become supple. And so people wonder, well, isn't there a high sugar content in apothecary? And while it does measure as sugar, this is, really it's right on the edge of sugar and a carbohydrate. And tart cherry actually allows your body to relax and your mind to relax and become more supple. And so that combined with the natural melatonin, combined with the free radical scavenging, is the reason why the nurses study, if you're familiar with that, a study of over 10,000, different people, showed that the farmers who grew these very cherries had the greatest disparity between their actual age and their metabolic age. In other words, they were much younger metabolically than it said
wow.
on their driver's license.
Wow.
The people, and it was built off of that study that inspired me to go out, find these cherries, and ultimately have this product, which is, now been on the market with our company for, almost 15 to 20 years.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So that's part 3 of what's in the core 4. I'm going to get into the rest of them. But before I transition into the last 2 products, part of the transformation, Dave, if you could mention, where did you find, I know you've told the story before, but I want people on this live to see it. Where did you find the wheatgrass that is inside of the Power Shake? Guys, the ultimate lifestyle transformation, okay? This is what's going to nourish you. This is what's going to build you. The Power Shake, give you the nourishing greens for your meal replacement. Most digestible protein on the planet to put muscle on your body, even if you don't work out. But if you do work out, you will exponentiate that much more. Naturally occurring melatonin in the apothecary. Last but not least, though, you need the cleansing portion. This is clinically proven to remove glyphosate toxicity, which is in Roundup, which is sprayed on all the inorganic food in the world. All the inorganic food that you've been consuming your whole life, it's laden in glyphosate. And glyphosate is designed to kill anything and everything that's not a GMO. What's your gut bacteria? It's not a GMO. So it is designed to kill your probiotics, designed to kill your immune system, designed to turn off your shikimic pathway, which is responsible for your senses. This will remove that glyphosate toxicity, remove the C-reactive protein, which is an inflammatory marker, and then rebuild your probiotic bank so that you can properly nourish what you're consuming again. It's not just about what you consume. It's about what you absorb. You can have all these superfoods all day long, but if you don't have the proper probiotic bank there in general for you to absorb those nutrients, it doesn't matter. You're not going to absorb any of the food if you don't have the proper probiotic bank for it. That's number 1. And the last but most important note, as we are on a full moon, you should commit to doing a parasite cleanse right now. Commit to doing a parasite cleanse because that's exactly what's in here, the super cleanser. Guys, if you go on ishoppurium.com, you'll see that the core 4 is $204. Then you'll see that if you click on Santos's link for the transformation is $380. Well, What's inside of the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation? 2 core 4s and a free parasite cleanse. Not only are you getting a $30 discount for 2 core 4s, but they're also throwing in a free parasite cleanse on top of that. And parasites are at the foundation of cancer, of all dis-ease. All dis-ease, Lyme disease, whatever disease, it doesn't matter. Parasites are at the foundation of all dis-ease. You remove the parasites, you get the body back into homeostasis. How is this going to remove the parasites? Because you're not going to have processed foods during the transformation. We're going to encourage no cooked foods during the transformation so that your body doesn't make its own parasites. Then, this is going to kill the adults, the babies, and then crack the eggs of the eggs that the adults lay as they're dying, so that they don't come back. Because nothing wants to die, it wants to continue its existence, right? Well, these parasites do the same thing. So they lay eggs as they're dying, and the wormwood in here, in addition to a few other herbs, are going to crack those eggs and kill the baby parasites that the adults left behind. So you want to start your parasite cleanse on a full moon like today, and then do that for 10 days, take a 10-day break, and then do the second portion of the parasite cleanse on the next full moon. You go from full moon to full moon, attack the parasites, remove the parasites out of your body, then you rebuild with your probiotic bank with the Biomedic, nourish with the Power Shake, build with the aminos, and recover with the Apothecary. Guys, that's the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. That's 5 of our superfoods, 5 of our products. On our website, we have over 100 different organic whole food superfoods. Sun-dried and wind-dried, activated by water. Enzyme-rich, for those of you raw foodists, you're raw purists, there's nothing better for you to consume than Purium, which stands for pure and premium. And we just had the CEO of the company bless us for about 20 minutes with his wisdom. That was a great treat. And Santos, I think that we've done an amazing job today of explaining the astrology of the day on this Gemini Supermoon. Guys, final note that I want to say, and then Santos, I'll pass it off to you for any final notes that you want to say. If you have something that you want to manifest into your life, something that you want to change in your life, I would encourage you to write that down. Write down what you're grateful for now already existing in your life, and write down what you want to manifest into your future as well. Write this down on a piece of paper like the Nazarites used to do. They would write it down, number 1, with a pencil made out of wood, okay? More earth energy. Write it down on a piece of paper with a pencil. Then place that piece of paper underneath a glass jar of water. Put that glass jar of water outside tonight during the full moon. Let the water absorb all that cosmic energy from the moon, while it's also absorbing what you're grateful for already right now in this life and what you're grateful to enter your life in the future. Then, if you guys have ever studied Dr. Emoto at all, water absorbs the energy of words. You speak hate to water, it becomes toxic. You speak love to water, it becomes healing. And the water is going to absorb the words of the energy that you wrote down on the piece of paper, right? Then, right tomorrow when you wake up, drink that water. You have just entered and birthed yourself into that reality. You've just broke the water again, per se. Because you have to break the water as well to enter this realm. Well, if you want your dreams to enter this realm, enter your reality with you, you got to write them down. Place them under a glass jar of water. Drink that water. And watch your dreams manifest into reality. Those are my final thoughts for this Gemini supermoon, powerful supermoon. The last supermoon like this we're going to see until 2042. Santos, if you have any final thoughts, brother, talking about being a solar being, talking about the supermoon, anything that you want to share, go ahead.
Nothing.
Cool. All good, man. Appreciate your time. Much love to everybody. You will be able to watch this entire live on here as well as on YouTube, the edited version. I'll see y'all later. Peace.